The year was 2004. It was a time of transformation and innovation, especially in the world of gaming. The gaming landscape was changing. Traditional genres were being reimagined, and new forms of interactive entertainment were on the rise. Out of the ashes of LucasArts, a new studio emerged with a bold vision: Telltale Games. This was not just another game studio. It was a beacon of hope for adventure game enthusiasts. Founded by industry veterans, Telltale sought to breathe life into a genre on the brink: adventure games. These veterans brought with them a wealth of experience and a deep understanding of storytelling. They believed in the power of story, in the magic of choice, and in a future where games could be more than just mindless entertainment. They envisioned games as a medium for rich, emotional narratives. Little did they know, their journey would become a tale of its own, filled with soaring highs and crushing lows. The path ahead was fraught with challenges, but also brimming with opportunities. This scrappy team, fueled by passion and a love for narrative, set up shop. They started small, but their dreams were anything but. Their goal was simple yet ambitious: to craft experiences that put players at the heart of the story. They wanted to create worlds where players felt truly immersed and invested. They wanted to create games that felt personal, where every decision carried weight and had lasting consequences. Each choice would ripple through the narrative, shaping the story in unique ways. With a twinkle in their eye and a fire in their belly, Telltale embarked on a quest to redefine what it meant to tell a story in the digital age. They were pioneers, ready to explore uncharted territories in gaming. Their innovative approach would soon capture the hearts and minds of players around the world, setting a new standard for narrative-driven games. Telltale's journey was just beginning, and the world was about to witness the dawn of a new era in storytelling. Telltale's early years were marked by a mix of modest successes and bold experimentation. The company was founded by a group of industry veterans who were passionate about storytelling and saw an opportunity to innovate within the gaming landscape. They cut their teeth on licensed properties like Bone and Sam and Max, which allowed them to hone their craft and develop a unique voice in the industry. These early projects were crucial in establishing Telltale's reputation for quality storytelling. Breathing new life into beloved franchises with their signature episodic format, Telltale managed to capture the essence of the original works while adding their own creative twist. This approach not only appealed to existing fans, but also attracted new audiences. Players were drawn to the bite-sized releases, eagerly devouring each installment and eagerly awaiting the next chapter in the story. The episodic format created a sense of community among players, who would discuss and theorize about upcoming episodes. This episodic approach was a gamble, a departure from the industry norm. Traditional games were typically released as complete packages, but Telltale saw potential in breaking the mold. Telltale saw it as an opportunity, a way to foster a deeper connection with their audience. By releasing games in episodes, they could keep players engaged over a longer period, maintaining interest and excitement. Each episode could be savored, dissected, and debated, building anticipation for what was to come. This method of storytelling allowed for more intricate plot development and character arcs. The serialized format also allowed Telltale to tell longer, more intricate stories, weaving narratives that unfolded like a beloved television series. This approach not only set them apart from other game developers, but also solidified their place in the industry as pioneers of episodic gaming. Then came 2012. A year that would forever change the trajectory of Telltale Games. The Walking Dead arrived, a zombie apocalypse tale that was less about surviving hordes of the undead and more about navigating the complexities of human relationships in the face of unimaginable horrors. It was a narrative-driven experience that put players in the shoes of Lee Everett, a man with a troubled past who finds himself thrust into a world where every choice could mean life or death. The game was a revelation, breaking new ground in storytelling within the gaming industry. It wasn't just about the action or the scares, it was about the emotional connections players formed with the characters, a critical and commercial triumph that took the industry by storm. Critics praised its innovative approach, and gamers couldn't get enough of its gripping narrative and heart-wrenching moments. Players were captivated by the game's cast of characters, each one meticulously crafted to feel real and relatable. The relationships between them were complex and often fraught with tension, making every interaction meaningful, brought to life with nuanced writing and powerful performances. The voice actors delivered performances that were both subtle and deeply affecting, adding layers of depth to the characters they portrayed. They felt the weight of every decision as they struggled to protect Clementine, a young girl who quickly became the emotional heart of the story. Players were faced with impossible choices, each one carrying significant consequences. A young girl who became a symbol of hope in a world consumed by darkness. Her innocence and resilience provided a stark contrast to the bleakness of the world around her, making her a beacon of light for both the characters and the players. The Walking Dead wasn't just a game, it was an experience that transcended the medium. It showed that video games could tell stories that were just as powerful and moving as those found in books or films. It was an emotional roller coaster that left a lasting impact on all who played it. The Walking Dead set a new standard for narrative-driven games, proving that the choices players make can lead to an unforgettable journey. The success of The Walking Dead was a watershed moment for Telltale. It proved that there was a massive audience hungry for narrative-driven experiences, for games that weren't afraid to tackle mature themes and evoke genuine emotion. Telltale had found a winning formula, a blend of gripping storytelling, relatable characters, and impactful choices that resonated deeply with players. They quickly capitalized on their newfound fame, securing licenses for a string of beloved franchises: Game of Thrones, Batman, Minecraft, Story Mode. Telltale's portfolio grew at a breakneck pace. They brought their signature style to each new project, crafting narratives that explored the darker corners of these beloved universes. Behind the scenes, however, a different story was unfolding. The relentless pace of development took its toll. Reports emerged of grueling crunch, of a company pushing its employees to the brink in pursuit of the next big hit. The pressure to deliver, to maintain the momentum of their success, began to chip away at the studio's foundations. Telltale's reliance on its aging game engine, the Telltale tool, became increasingly problematic. The engine, initially praised for its simplicity and accessibility, struggled to keep up with the studio's ambitions. Technical limitations hampered creativity, and the game's visual fidelity began to feel dated compared to the industry's advancements. As Telltale churned out game after game, a sense of stagnation crept in. The formula that had once felt revolutionary began to feel repetitive. Players grew weary of the same gameplay loop, of the illusion of choice that often led to predetermined outcomes. The magic was fading. In an attempt to stay ahead, Telltale took on more projects, spreading themselves thin across multiple licensed properties. They seemed to be everywhere, their name attached to every major franchise imaginable. But this overexpansion came at a cost, diluting their creative focus and further straining their resources. The warning signs were there, but Telltale seemed unable or unwilling to change course. Sales began to dwindle, and the critical reception grew increasingly lukewarm. The once mighty studio was now teetering on the edge of a precipice. Behind the scenes, desperation mounted. Frantic attempts to secure funding, to find a lifeline that could save the company, proved futile. The writing was on the wall. Telltale Games, the studio that had once reached such dizzying heights, was about to come crashing back down to earth. In September 2018, the news hit the gaming world like a bombshell. Telltale Games, the studio that had captivated millions with its narrative adventures, was shutting down. The majority of the staff was laid off with little to no warning, their dreams shattered, their futures uncertain. The studio that had breathed new life into a dying genre was no more. The collapse of Telltale was a sobering reminder of the brutal realities of the gaming industry. It was a story of ambition and innovation, but also of overreach, mismanagement, and the human cost of chasing success at all costs. In the wake of Telltale's demise, the industry mourned the loss of a studio that had dared to be different. But amidst the wreckage, there was also a sense of hope. Telltale's legacy lived on in the countless players whose lives had been touched by their games. The studio's influence could be felt in the wave of narrative-driven games that followed, in the studios that were inspired by Telltale's dedication to storytelling. Their story may have ended in tragedy, but their impact on the gaming landscape would continue to be felt for years to come. The legacy of choice, of the power of interactive narratives, would forever be intertwined with the name Telltale Games.